we're back. We're doing chapter 9 notes, Matgen110. We're looking at 9.3, which is the quadratic formula. So let's say we have something that isn't factorable. We can't factor it. So let's look at the quadratic formula. That's a way to solve second degree equations without factoring and without completing the square. So look, we have this is our quadratic formula. It's the opposite of b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So that is quadratic formula. And a is always the thing in front of the squared term. B is always the thing in front of the first degree term. And C is always the thing without a variable on it. And so remember the positives and negatives. That's really important. So let's solve this equation without completing the square or factoring. We're just going to do, well, instead of x equals, it's c. So we'll say c is equal to the opposite of b, which is -2, plus or minus the square root, -2 squared times 4ac all over 2a. All right, so that is 2 plus or minus the square root of 4. That's -12 plus 24 all over 6. Is equal to 2 plus or minus the square root of 28 all over 6. Ooh, and now we would be done if this were a little uglier. If that was like 27, we'd be done. We're not done. Or if it was like 29, we'd be done. So here, it's not ugly though, because look, square root of 28, we can go back. Remember, we do perfects and leftovers, 4 and 7. And so that's 2 square roots of 7. And so we have this, c is equal to 2 plus or minus 2 square roots of 7 over 6. And then we can go one step further and split it into 2 fractions, and then another step, reduce it. Wow. I guess we want really ugly ones for the notes. So what is that? That's 1/3 plus or minus the square root of 7 over 3. Done. Good. So that wasn't exactly a walk in the park. Let's do another one that's a little better. It's not factorable. So this one was not factorable because look, if we end up with a square root in our answer, that means you couldn't have factored it even if you wanted to. So let's do another example of quadratic formula. We've got z squared equals 5z plus 1. So before we identify a, b, and c, we have to get everything over onto the same side. So we have z squared minus 5z minus 1 equals 0, because that's zeroed out. Everything's on the left side now. Now you can say a is equal to 1. Remember, there's a 1 in front of it when there's nothing there. B is equal to -5. C is equal to -1. And this is going to be z equals, instead of x, because it's a z. And so the opposite, -5 plus or minus the square root, -5 squared minus 4. After you do this enough times, you get really good at it. You get a little faster. And that's it. We can end it there. It won't be reduced. 2 and 5 and 1 can't reduce, and 29 can't be fixed. So that's it. So that is 9.3. I'll do 9.4 and A2 on the next video.